All right. Merry Christmas time to everybody. Happy New Year. It's after Christmas, but it's still Christmas time, not quite New Year's yet. I've been trying to make this video. I shot it quite a few times, and the flow just did not feel right. It didn't go well at all. Not happy with it. So I decided to make this video this way. This was originally going to be two videos, by the way. One on a 60-day review of the Osmo Pocket 3, and the other was going to be the Freewell ND filter mega set with the Pocket 3 and how well it works. Now, seeing as though the flows wasn't working, here's what I decided to do. I am going to show clips from each of those previous videos, different times, using different filters in different video modes. So in other words, right now I'm shooting with the ND8 and I'm shooting in D-Log-M, and I have it on the bottom. What I'm going to show you is a series of clips, hopefully well-timed, knowledgeable, in order, fluid, telling you about why I'm switching over to the Pocket 3 and how well it's worked and where I'm coming from and so on. I'm also going to get into the Freewell ND filters themselves, the packaging, what comes in it, build quality, how they perform, how they stay on the Pocket 3, all of that. All in one video. Like I said, nice, well-timed, perfect. And yeah, we'll see. If I can pull this off, it'll be a miracle.
It's Christmas, Theo. It's the time of miracles.
All right, let's get into it. Today we are talking about my new favorite vlogging camera, which is the Pocket 3. The Pocket 3, I've been using it now for a couple of months, and it quickly became my favorite. So to give you a little background, in all my videos before the last couple of months, I was using the action cams. I'm up to the GoPro Hero 12 Black. I use it with the Volta for the easy controlling, and for the better audio, I'm using the Rode Wireless ME. And it's a really good rig. It's very compact. It's easy to use, just quick, powered up, ready to go. And when I'm not in use, power it down, throw it in my backpack. It doesn't need a whole lot of packaging. And also it's very durable. I dropped it a few times. When I pick it back up, dust it off, and go right about my day. Not worried about it. It has its moments where it's fantastic. However, it has its shortcomings. So if I wanted something that's going to be a little bit more cinematic, then I'm going to have to go to one of my DSLRs. Now this is the A6400, and back in the day this was posed as the vlogging camera when it first came out. It's got the view back screen, it's got a really good quality image to it, and Sony makes a really good product. I love this camera. However, if I want to use it in my vlogging, it doesn't have any in-body stabilization. The lenses do, but Sony's stabilization isn't the best. So if I really want to get some good stabilization, I am going to be either holding my hand rock solid tight, which I'm not very good at, or I'm going to have to use one of these. Now, every time I use this, I'm going to have to calibrate it, get it all ready and go. And then when it's not in use, take it all apart, package it up nice and neat, put it in the backpack, and then put it back together. It's not very convenient for me, so I do not want to do that. It's going to be a little bit of time before the beach is well used again and enjoyed in comfort. It's about 30-something degrees out right now. We're right close to sunset. We are, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 minutes away from this being totally dark. And that's another great feature when it comes to this camera. Low light, it is bar none. I love the GoPros, and there are still situations I'm going to plan on using it in my vlogs. However, in low light conditions isn't one of them. This camera seems to be excelling. Now, in my last video, I showcased that with the Sony and the action camera, and you can see just how close this lived up to the DSLR. Now, I'm not saying it's right up there as far as everything else quality, but it's closer than the action cams are going to get. The black mist, I was under the impression, and maybe this is just on me, maybe I misinterpreted or didn't take the time to really understand, but I thought that it was coming with the Creator combo for the DJI Pocket 3 set. It doesn't. And now with the black mist. Regular setting. Okay, look at the street lights. Look how they are. And now with the LPR. The difference between the street lights and the Christmas lights of the State House. This is the ND8, a little bit into the woods area, and little change, quick swap over to the ND8. Again, keeping up with the 180 rule, so I get that natural motion look and not something that's a little bit more freaky. Now, I'm not saying this is the ideal setting, but I'm going to swap it over to the black mist. I don't have a whole lot of experience with that particular filter, so kind of curious how it works out. Here is how it looks with your regular ND filter on it. This is the ND8. This is with the black mist. Take it back to the studio, go into the case itself, the makeup of the case, and as well as the structure of the ND filters and how they work and fit on the camera. Now this set right here is the Mega Pack. It is 14 ND filters that are held in this fairly large case. If you have that many filters, it has to be. The case is magnetic, and also the filters themselves are magnetic. That's how they hold onto the camera. Now, what's also really cool is the size of the filters. The camera itself, the inlet on the lens, it fits in there perfectly. So as the magnetic applies to it, it will not slide around. It's going to hold firmly into place. Matter of fact, it holds very firmly to the point where the filters themselves will have these ridges in the corner, so you can kind of fit your nail into there to help peel it off. Which, being honest, it works sometimes for me a little bit too well. You know, my fat fingers trying to get these off, and they're fairly tight. But what is the happy medium? Do you want it lighter and chance falling off as you're moving around, especially if you're in a scenario where you have some rugged movements to it, or do you want it locked down there nice and tightly? What it comes with for the NDs is the ND8, 16, 32, 64, 256, and also the 1000. Now, I'm not sure how often I would be taking pictures with this, but if I do want to try to take some of the slow shutter speed pictures, it is going to do the job for me. Now, for the polarized, you have the ND8, 16, 32, 8, 16, 32, and 64. So between the ND filters and also the polarized, you have a wide variety of options to work with. Now, there are a couple of downers with it, to be honest with you. The ND filters, like I said, they held on so very tight. Now, you can stack them. In the second one, it was going to come off easier. But here's the scenarios. Number one, I'm a person who puts a screensaver on everything, my phones, my tablets, everything. And I bought the screensavers for the Pocket 3 and the viewback screen, and also on the lens. It was two package scenario. Now, with the one on the lens, it does take into that ridge point. The ND filters will still stay on, but I want to say it's like 50 to 60% reduction in its strength. So it's going to make it easier for the quick swap, but I'm more concerned in some scenarios where it's moved around a little bit more. Are they going to stay on there? Now also, because the screensaver's inside there, it's not also going to fit inside of the ridge, so it can slide out of place and not be centered where it belongs. So that's one of the downers. Another downer is this comes with it, and you're going to want it, because the filters are so small, and handle them, you know, with your fingers, I find myself cleaning them off quite a bit from the fingerprints I'm getting onto them. Also, I am quite happy with the field of view that I get with the Pocket 3, but if you are somebody who likes a wide-angle lens look, and you put on the wide-angle lens, you're not going to be able to use any of the ND filters. The magnetization will not follow through and hold on to this. Matter of fact, the magnets that hold us onto the Pocket 3 have a reverse polarity because of the way they are, and it throws the ND filter away from it. So if some aftermarket company decides to make a wide-angle lens, Freewell, that you could put the ND filters on, Freewell, it would be really cool to have that option. Or make some wide-angle lens ND filters, Freewell. You know, just saying. And if you do, you know, kick your boy back some. Anyway, now I bought the Creator Combo, and I would suggest that if you are a one-man band like I am, having the tripod, the setup, and the tracking feature, track me that I don't need a secondary person to do, so I can get those other cool shots moving around. And also the mic. Now the mic is that 32 float, and it has some firmware updates as well as far as the recording methods. But one of the cool firmware updates that I want to mention is I forget to power things off sometime. And after a few minutes, the Sony, if it's inactive, will power down, phone, stuff like that. I've forgotten to shut this off a couple of times, and with the new firmware updates, not only do you get more options with the camera, but they also have a separate update for the mic that you have to connect straight into your computer. It doesn't go through the app in the camera, but it does have an auto shut off after so much time of being inactive or not being used, recording anything. So that's it. I mean, the Pocket 3 in with use with the Freewell filters, it's for me, it's a no-brainer, and it gets everything that I want to get out of the camera. And the camera itself, with all its functionality, is for me the best thing that I've used so far in my vlogging. So that's it. If you have any questions about anything I covered in today's video, hit me up below. Let's have a great conversation. If you enjoyed the video, give me the old thumbs up. And if you want to see more, subscribe. I'll catch you later.